Rapport. We all heard the saying that, they don't really care how much you know until they know how much you care, and that does stand pretty true, especially in sales situations, especially with our clients. One thing for sure is we're there to help them protect their family. And how can we say that we're there to help them protect their family, but we never ask them any questions about their family, So let's start with the rapport building and how to have a system behind it so that every time we're building rapport, it's not just random talk. It's specific questions that are going to build rapport, make the client feel comfortable with us, but at the same time, they're not just random questions. They're actually being asked for a purpose. So before we even dive into that, I got to touch on our two favorite triangles. You got the triangle, and then you have the upside down triangle. And if you cut these triangles into thirds, you'll find that the first third of these triangles is going to be rapport. The middle part of the triangle is going to be presentation, and then the bottom part is going to be the close. And you'll notice that the presentation part is pretty much the same. It's not going to change very much. When you press a button on the computer, the same video plays every time. The script is pretty much laid out there. But what's different in most presentations is going to be the rapport and the close. And if you notice that if you spend a very little bit of time building the rapport and you fly right into the presentation, you're going to notice you're going to have to spend a lot of time closing. But on the other hand, if you spend a little bit, maybe more time, attention, energy towards the rapport building, and you give the same presentation, you'll notice that you're not going to have to close as much. So you could choose, where do you want to spend the time, energy, and effort? Building rapport, getting to know their family, and less time closing, or flying right through all the get to know you stuff so I can get into the presentation and then spend 2 hours at the end fighting with somebody on how to close, right? So let's just have a quick form, and just if we stick to these questions, there's no way that any client or anybody can ever say that you didn't build rapport with them if you do these questions. So the first question is, nice home, how long have you lived here? What that's going to do is it's going to get them talking immediately about their prized possession. What does somebody love most? That probably their home. These individuals, they work and they're proud of their accomplishments and what they've been able to do for their family. So I think it's easy talk. I mean, if you want to talk to somebody about something that's easy to talk to right out the gate, well, how about this beautiful home that we're sitting in? Nice home. How long have you lived here? And you could get a feeling for things that they plan on doing with the house. So maybe, hey, maybe they want to put a pool in the backyard. Maybe they just redid the basement. How do they like the school district? Do they got a lot of neighbors? Is the family in the area? All of those things, you want the client to basically tell you how much they love their home and how much they love the area. You basically want the client to sell you on how much they love their home. Because at the end of the day, if they have a mortgage on their house, and the main income earner would pass away, it is our job to explain to them the financial repercussions of what's going to happen to their beautiful home if, God forbid, that happens. And we're going to be able to help them protect their most important asset, which a lot of people would say would be their home. So I think it's important to start with the house. The second question, let's just get right into it, would be, do you have a big family, and do you have a lot of family in the area? So this is the family tree question. This is where I want to get to know their family a little bit more. If I were to sit down with a family and they were able to sort of draw out their family tree for me, that's what I'm doing in my head at this point. I'm basically trying to connect the dots. You know, how many brothers and sisters do you have, Joe? How many brothers and sisters do you have, Mary? So you're the oldest, you're the youngest. Okay, so what did your older brother do? Where does he live? Okay, well, where are his kids at? Oh, his kids are in college. But your youngest brother, he just had two babies. Wow, that's a pretty big difference. You got some of your nieces and nephews here, some of your. So I start to try and build rapport, and then I go over to her side of the family, and I want to connect all the dots and find out who the kids are, where they're living, kind of just a feel of the family a little bit. And then that sort of leads me right, and here's the best is if they show you pictures. You know, if you can get to see pictures of the family, that's some of the best ways to build rapport. That's one of my favorite parts of the presentation, because that's when you get to see the family be a family and talk about their family, and you know, that's pretty cool to just see how that interacts. And also, that's pretty much the main reason why we're there, is to help them protect their family. Keep in mind though that when they have an opportunity to refer friends and family into the program, well, it's not going to be hard for them to come up with these names, because we just went through the whole family tree with them about 15 minutes earlier. You know, so that'll help them keep the most important people in their family that they want to help protect in the forefront of their mind as well. And then it leads you right into the third question. And the third question is question 3, and it's sort of 3 parts as well, which is, are your parents still alive? How old are they? And if you don't mind me asking, how's their health? Now, if you say your parents, are your parents still alive? And they say yes, you say, how old are they? Oh, awesome, awesome. And if you don't mind me asking, how's their health? Now, obviously, if they say their parents passed away, the first thing we got to do is give our condolences and imagine how you would feel, you know, if you had to tell somebody that. And then, so I would say, I'm so sorry to hear that. How old were they when they passed away? And then I might make a comment, if they lived to be 100, I say, that's pretty amazing though. You know, that's a great long life. And then I'll ask them, if you don't mind me asking, how'd they pass? That's going to give you vital information for you to be able to give them proper advice in the presentation later on down the line as well, about the longevity of their family, is there any histories in their family history. Plus, if you ask, are your parents still alive? That assumes that one day they're going to what? They're going to pass away. So it brings mortality into the presentation as well. And anytime you think of your parents, a lot of people think of that. So question 4 is XYZ company. So you want to ask them, you know, how long have you worked down at XYZ company? Did you work anywhere before that? What do you do for them? Is there any promotions that you just had? Anyone coming up down the line? You guys have overtime? If they have overtime, that's a great thing to point out. You can put that in your back pocket, use that for later. Plus, if they work on dangerous jobs, you could find that out. A lot of people that work on dangerous jobs work in crews, and they work with the same crew a lot because they say it's safer. So then you could easily do catch-up program referrals or ask for referrals if you know they already work in crews at their job. They're typically working same shifts, doing similar jobs, making the same wage. So they're probably going to have the similar needs as well. So those are a couple pointers, but get them talking about their work a little bit, and that'll gain you some information. And you could even use the group data sheet to throw a couple things. Oh yeah, plus I noticed on your group data sheet that you guys have this, and plus I noticed that. So you could throw in a couple things to add some knowledge that you have. And then the fifth question is, I'm new to the area. What do you guys like to do for fun around here? That'll get them talking about 2 things. Well, number 1, what they spend money on. You know, what do you guys like to do for fun? That means what? Entertainment. Entertainment is discretionary income. So they can't tell you they can't afford it if they go to the gun club every week and shoot $50 worth of rounds out into the air, basically, you know. So I've been able to help clients just manage their financials a little bit more responsibly, you know, simply by explaining to them that, hey, I understand, but if we shoot $50 in bullets on every Friday, you know, we could just change that to $37 in bullets and take the other $13 a week and protect our family. And it actually helped him out a little bit too. So if you're able to, that's just one small example, but if you're able to help the families just talk out loud, think out loud, talk out loud their discretionary incomes, later on we'll be able to point that back out to them as well, so they can see, you know, where they're sort of just spending money on instead of investing it for their family. So what do you guys like to do for fun around here? Find out what they spend weekly on. If I know that the guy goes to dart club and he goes to the bar every Friday for dart club, there you go. There's probably $30, $40 a week right there. You know, if you know they do something monthly, quarterly, something like that, that's one way. The other thing, and reason why you'd ask that, is for social groups. What do you guys like to do for fun around here? You go camping. Okay, who goes camping? Oh, it's the whole Boy Scouts. Okay, well, great. Now, later on, when I'm asking for child safe referrals, that probably will be a pretty good avenue to help get more kids into the community, is through the Probably the Boy Scouts. But I would never know that if I didn't ask the rapport building questions and find out what social groups they're involved in. Right? So those are two things of why we would ask that fifth rapport building question. So, I mean, I'll run through them real quick. You know, nice home, how long have you lived here? The second question I call a family tree. So you want to get them to talk about their family tree. You say you have a big family in the area and you strike up conversation from there. Question 3, are your parents still alive? How old are they? And if you don't mind me asking, how's their health? Question 4 is how long have you worked at XYZ company? And question 5 is, I'm new to the area. What do you guys like to do for fun around here? All right, those are your 5 rapport building questions. Let's make sure we're applying those in every home. Have a great day.